Nobody sees the war I wake up in. They see the composed version, the one that showed up, handled it. They don't see the 3 a.m. where the mind went sideways, the thought that came back after I evicted it. The doubt that dressed itself up as logic. This war doesn't have witnesses, but it's the realest fight I've ever been in. I don't wrestle with flesh and blood, Paul told me that. But flesh and blood is what I keep fighting because it's visible. The invisible war is harder to report. Can't show the bruises, can't document the front lines. Can't explain to someone who hasn't been on this field what it feels like when the mind becomes the battleground. When the enemy operates inside the perimeter using your own thought, says the weapon. He comes for the identity first, always the identity. Whispers you're not who you think you are consistently enough that you start to examine and calling for flaws. Start defending what God already settled. I spent energy on battles I should've refused, engaged in arguments I should've recognized as distractions, fighting on terrain I should've ceded to God and occupied what He actually sent me to take. The silent war, no witnesses, no cameras, no crowd, just a man in the mind and the enemy who knows the layout. The silent war, the hardest front is the one inside, where the doubts put on the voice of reason, where fear sounds like wisdom. If you don't know the difference, put on the full armor. Every piece has a specific battle it covers. I'm not fighting for victory, I'm fighting from it. He already won, I'm just holding the ground. The armor of God is practical equipment for a specific war. The breastplate covers what the enemy targets most, the heart. The helmet covers the mind because the mind is the main theater. The shield is for the flaming arrows, the ones that hit and stick, the thoughts that catch and smolder if you don't douse them quick. This is a metaphor, this is tactical instruction written by a man who knew what the fight actually cost. The sword is the only offensive weapon in the list, everything else is defensive, holds the ground, but the word is the sword, the only thing that cuts back. And I won more battles with a specific verse than I ever won with a general prayer. Precision matters in warfare, I know which scripture addresses which specific attack. That's how you fight on this front. Jesus in the wilderness, 40 days. Every temptation answer was specific scripture. Not a sermon, not a testimony, not an argument. It is written, it is written, it is written. 3 attacks, 3 precise responses. The enemy left when the word held the ground. That's the model, that's the template for the silence. No witnesses, no cameras, no crowd, just a man in the mind and the enemy who knows the layout. The silent war, the hardest front is the one inside, where the doubts put on the voice of reason, where fear sounds like wisdom. If you don't know the difference, put on the full armor. Every piece has a specific battle it covers. I'm not fighting for victory, I'm fighting from it. He already won, I'm just holding the ground. The battle is real, I'm not going to minimize it, but the outcome was settled before I entered it. He already won. My job is to stand, put on the armor, hold the ground, stand. Let me be clear about what broke means. It means the account is low. It does not mean the man is low. It does not mean the calling is canceled. It does not mean God forgot the address. Broke is a financial condition, not an identity. And I had to learn the difference while I was living inside it. Yo, I used to equate the blessing with the balance, like the favor showed up in the account number first. Like God's presence was directly correlated to my liquidity. And when the account dropped, the theology got shaky. Had to examine what I actually believe. When the confession didn't match the bank statement, had to find a floor that wasn't made of money, because the floor made of money gave way on a Tuesday. And here's what I found underneath the financial floor: dignity that predates the deposit, worth that was assigned before the first paycheck, a calling that doesn't have a minimum balance requirement, an identity that the account number was never the source of. Took broke to find the foundation that was there the whole time underneath what I was building on. Broke but not broken, that's the distinction. The account is low, but the man is still standing. Broke but not broken, money left but purpose didn't. Work doesn't live in the wallet, I know that now. Paul said he learned contentment in every state, and he abasing and he abound in both of them. broken. This season is temporary. The man God made is not. I kept my head up in the season, that should've had it down. Not because it wasn't hard, it was specifically hard, but because I watched my grandmother maintain dignity on a fixed income. That should've broken her posture. She set that table like it was abundance, prayed over that food like it was a feast, gave from what wasn't enough, and somehow it was enough. That's not prosperity theology, that's a different kind of rich. The world measures a man by what he holds, God measures a man by what holds him. And I've been held in the seasons the account couldn't cover, held by something that doesn't fluctuate with the economy. That's not a metaphor, that's a testimony. I've been in a specific lacking bit, specifically provided for in ways the account statement doesn't show. The widow at Zarephath had a handful of meal, last food, last option, almost the last day. And Elijah showed up and said, make me a cake first. The audacity of that instruction. Give from the last before the miracle. And she did, and the barrel didn't run out. The miracle was inside the obedience. The provision was inside the giving from what wasn't enough. Broke but not broken, that's the distinction. The account is low, but the man is still standing. Broke but not broken, money left but purpose didn't. Work doesn't live in a wallet, I know that now. Paul said he learned contentment in every state, and he abasing and he abounding both of them. Broke but not broken, the season is temporary. The man God made is not. I am not my account balance. Never was. The season is what it is, but the man inside the season is fully intact. Broke as a weather condition, I'm still standing in it. Head up. Same block, same night, same choices. Close enough. And I'm the one who walked away, and I've never fully made peace with that. Not because I wanted to trade places, because I don't understand the math. Why this one and not that one? Why me and not him? And I've sat with that question long enough to know it doesn't have a clean answer, but it has a direction. I've been carrying their names like weight I can't redistribute. Put the flowers on the dates I memorize without trying to. Their faces in the crowd at every milestone I hit, like they earned a seat at every table I got to sit at. And maybe they did, maybe survivor's guilt. It's just love with nowhere left to deposit it. Maybe it's the grief that doesn't know what form to take, so it takes the shape of why you and not me. I made the same moves in different times and stood in different spots by margins too thin to explain. And the only honest answer I have for the distance between us is grace. Uncomfortable, arbitrary feeling, unexplained grace. The kind that doesn't come with a reason attached. Just a life I didn't earn more than they did, still breathing while they're in the ground. Survivor's guilt, I know the weight of the name. Standing in the future they didn't get to claim. Why am I still here when they aren't? That's the question. I've stopped asking why and started asking what for. Because the why doesn't have an answer I can hold, but the what for, that's a direction. Survivor's guilt, I carry them in the living. Every door I walk through for the ones who didn't get a door. There's a version of survival that becomes a sentence, where you spend the rest of your life apologizing for being alive. Where the guilt becomes the monument to the ones you lost, and the monument becomes the prison. That's not honor, that's burial with extra steps. The dead don't need you to stop living, they need you to live like it meant something. Like the margin between your story and theirs was given, not random. A sign, not accidental. Purpose doesn't erase the grief, but purpose gives the grief somewhere to go. Turns the weight into fuel, turns the survivor into a testimony. Turns a question, why me? And to watch what I do with it. Mordecai told Esther, who knows whether you came to the kingdom for such a time as this? Not a guarantee, a possibility. Maybe the survival has a purpose attached that only shows up in the living of it. Maybe the names you carry are the names that authorize the assignment. Maybe you're still here Cause the story isn't finished, and they need someone on the inside to finish it. Survivor's guilt. I know the weight of the name. Standing in the future, they didn't get to claim. Why am I still here when they aren't? That's the question. I stopped asking why, started asking what for. Because the why doesn't have an answer I can't hold, but the what for, that's the direction. Survivor's guilt. I carried them in the living. Every door I walk through for the ones who didn't get a door. I'm still here. I don't fully understand it, but I'm done apologizing for it. I carry their names. I walk through the doors they didn't get, and I make it count. That's the only answer I have. That's the one I'm living. I'm not who I was. I wanna be clear about that. There's real distance, but I'm not yet who I'm becoming either. And that middle space is uncomfortable. Too far from the old self to go back, not far enough into the new self to feel arrived, just unfinished. And learning to be okay with that. Yeah, I used to think transformation was an event, a moment you cross, where the old fully dies and then the new fully arrives. Clean line, clear before and after. But it's messier than that. It's waking up and being better than yesterday in some places, and failing the exact same test in others, and not knowing which version of yourself is gonna show up until the moment arrives and you see I still carry residue from what I used to be. Habits that outlive the decision to change. Reflexes that fire before the new nature can intervene. And I used to treat that as evidence the change wasn't real. Now I treat it as evidence the work is still happening. There's a difference between relapsing into the old and discovering that the old has more rooms than you clear. Unfinished man, that's the honest category. Not backslid, not a ride, somewhere in the middle. Unfinished man, he who began the good work will carry it to completion. That's the promise I'm standing on. Not my completion rate, his. Not my consistency, his faithfulness. Unfinished man, I'm in the hands of the finisher, and the finisher doesn't abandon what he started. Unfinished but not unattended, that's the difference. Philippians 1:6 is the most honest verse for where I live. He who began, he started it, not me. Good work, he called it good before it looks good. We'll carry it to completion, he's moving it forward until the day of Jesus Christ. It won't be done till he's done, which means my job is not to rush to completion. My job is to cooperate with the process, to keep showing up at the place where the work is happening, to stop abandoning the construction site because the building doesn't look finished yet. The potter doesn't stop cause the clay is resistant. The clay resistant is a condition the potter has worked with before. Every masterpiece in the museum was once a mess on the table. Every finished thing went through the phase of looking unfinished. I'm in the phase, as a maker who has never abandoned the work in progress. Peter was unfinished at the Last Supper, unfinished in the garden, unfinished at the fire where he denied 3 times and Jesus prayed for him before the failure. I've prayed for you that your faith would not fail, not that you wouldn't fall, that the faith would hold through it. The unfinished man was the one he prayed for. The unfinished man was the one he restored. The unfinished man was the one he built on. Unfinished man, that's the honest category. Not backslid, not a ride, somewhere in the middle. Unfinished man, he who began the good work will carry it to completion. That's the promise I'm standing on. Not my completion rate, his. Not my consistency, his faithfulness. Unfinished man, I'm in the hands of the finisher, and the finisher doesn't abandon what he started. Unfinished but not unattended, that's the difference. I'm unfinished, and I'm okay with that today, because unfinished means the work is still happening. Means he hasn't put down the clay. Means I'm still in the hands of the one called it good work before it looked like anything. He started it, he'll finish it. I just have to stay on the wheel. They tried to bury a few things with me. The gift, they said it wasn't real enough. The calling, they said it wasn't practical. The voice, they said nobody needed to hear it. And for a while I believed them, covered it up, acted like it wasn't there. Until the thing they buried started pushing through the ground on its own. Because gifts don't die when people bury them, they germinate. I sat in rooms where the verdict came down without a trial, with someone with authority made a ceiling and called it discernment, called it wisdom, called it love, when really it was just a limitation projected onto my assignment. I internalized the ceiling like it was structural, like the person who installed it had the authority to. Spent years building underneath it, never testing whether it was real or just believed. The gift stayed alive in the dark though. That's what I didn't know about gifts. They're stubborn, they don't require permission to exist. They don't need the room's approval to stay warm. I suppressed it long enough that I forgotten the shape of it. Then God let a moment come that fit the exact contour of what I've been keeping in the ground. And it came out without effort, like it had been waiting the whole time. But they didn't bury me with the gift survived the grave. But they didn't bury me with the calling held its shape underground. They wrote the verdict, dug the hole, covered the potential. But you can't bury what God breathed alive. But they didn't bury me with it's in my hands now, fully formed from the years. It's been in the ground, roots that deep don't fall over. What they tried to bury is what's standing now. Joseph's brothers threw him in the pit and sold the dream. Thought the dreamer in the ground meant the dream was buried too. But the dream went to Egypt with him, into the prison with him. The pit couldn't hold the assignment, they didn't even know they were handling. And every hand that passed them down the chain was moving them toward the palace they were trying to prevent. The same people who buried the gift were instruments in this delivery. That's the specific irony of God's economy. The burial becomes the preparation, the grave becomes the germination chamber, the rejection letter becomes the curriculum that nobody who accepted you could have taught you. Lazarus was in the tomb 4 days, past the point of reasonable hope. And Jesus showed up and said, "Where have you laid him?" Not because he didn't know, because he wanted the witnesses to walk to the stone, to stand in front of the burial, to see exactly what he was about to reverse. Take away the stone. Come forth. What they buried. Come forth. Yo. What they didn't bury me with. The gift survived the grave. What they didn't bury me with. Calling hell to shake underground. They wrote the verdict, dug the hole, covered up potential. But you can't bury what God breathed alive. What they didn't bury me with. It's in my hands now, fully formed from the years. It's been in the ground, roots that deep don't fall over. What they try to bury is what's standing now. That's the word for what's been in the ground. Whatever they bury, whatever you bury, whatever got covered by the verdict of a room that didn't have the authority, it acted like it had. Come forth. It's not dead. It was never dead.